Alright guys, I'm super excited. I just picked up this Redcat Gen 8 from the shop down the road. Really excited for a cool new video series to come. Don't worry, we're not going to unbox this right now. I'm sure we've all seen that many times, so I'll catch you once we get it out of the box. So, as you can see, I lack self-control. I was just going to get the fresh new truck out of the box, but then while I was doing that, the charger dinged, let me know that the battery was full. And I couldn't not get it dirty. So I took it out in the yard, drove it around for a bit, and man, oh man, I'm excited. It's just so much faster than I thought it would be, which I know a lot of people end up changing the motor and stuff to try to make it more crawly. We'll see about that. I'm going to run it as is for a little while. But anyway, the purpose of this video wasn't to show you a clean new truck out of the box. We've seen that. What I really want to do is introduce this video series that I'm going to be doing with this truck. What I'm really the most interested in is scale goodness. That's one of the reasons I like this truck. The body is just so much nicer than the TRX4 or the Axial Base Camp. You know, those bodies just really didn't get me excited. And then I went and drove this truck at the shop, and performance seemed awesome to me. Obviously, I don't know that much about the way the 110s should handle, but I was really happy and I had a lot of fun, and smiles per mile is definitely the biggest measure. And I love the way it looked. I love that purple color, and I went and did some research. It seemed like people really liked the truck. It does seem to have some issues, but we'll address that on the channel. What I decided to do is I'm going to take this Gen 8 V2 out of the box, RTR, and over the course of several videos, we're going to slowly build it into a Class 1 scale comp crawler. And I'm going to do not like a budget build, meaning that I'm going to do everything cheaply, but I'm going to stick it to like every episode I spend $50. We may do some special episodes here and there where we just say, okay, this episode we're going to do, not be constrained by budget, or maybe this episode we're not going to spend any money. Yeah, so spend $50, try to build it into a cool scale crawler over the course of a few months, and if I can find a Class 1 comp to go to at the end of this, that's what I intend to do. This truck out of the box actually is in pretty good spot for Class 1 crawling from what I can tell, because we do have some scale goodies just straight out of the box. So I think the first thing I want to do is maybe just go over how this thing points out just stock as it comes without ever touching it. The first and most important thing is that these tires are not Class 1 legal. I think they'd probably make it into Class 2. Let's just do a quick measure here. Yeah, right at 4.7. They might be a little over. But anyway, that's not that important, because for Class 1, we got to do 4.19 inches. So the one thing we got to do if we want to make this into a Class 1 crawler is make it legal. And in order to do that, all we got to do is change the tires. I got this set of Proline Hyraxes. They seem to be the most highly regarded comp tires, and they conveniently come in a package marked as Class 1. I think they're right exactly at the limit, like right at 4.19. Yeah, you can see it's a little misshapen from being in the package and not on a wheel, but it's pretty much exactly the right size. So the first thing we're going to do is do that swap. I'm not going to count this as part of the budget because it's a thing that's required for making the truck legal. So I'm going to throw these on, and then we'll come back and go over the points of the truck. And we're back. Got our tires installed. You can see these old ones here. Our brand new Hyraxes. They're definitely noticeably smaller, but I think with them all on there, it actually looks really nice. It does have a really good scale look. We can also turn the wheels full lock, no rubbing anywhere, and I've got a nice full tuck inside. I think it looks really, really good. What I want to do now is just kind of go over the rules. Now that the truck is legal, we'll step through the actual rules and make sure that that's the case. And then we'll come up with a scale score out of the box, and then every week we'll do a mix of scale mods and performance mods, and count up the score every week and see if we can get to 60 and see if we can get this baby to perform. Number 1, vehicle must have a windshield that fills the entire windshield frame. Well, you can see that's definitely the case. Legs and body. Full width bumpers are required on the front and rear of the vehicle. Bumpers that are molded into the body qualify. Bumpers are measured from outsides and must be the width of your windshield. So we can see here, I don't think my calipers go that wide. Maybe you can just use something for reference, like the bumper is that wide, a windshield. We got plenty of extra space there. Same on the rear. We can see the bumper lines up pretty well with these lines in the body that are the same width as the windshield. So our bumpers are legal. Wheels must be aligned within the body wheel wells. Center of the wheels to center of the wheel wells plus or minus ½ inch. I mean, this body is designed for this wheelbase, and you can see it's perfectly in there, so no problems there. Body must be mostly intact. Only mild trimming such as flares and removing a hardtop are allowed. If the hardtop is removed, a full interior is required. No extreme trimming of bodies allowed. See below. The tread of the tires cannot extend outside the wheel wells more than half of the tread width. We have no problems there because we are fully tucked. That actually is kind of nice. It gives us a little bit of room. We could add some track width if we wanted with some wider hexes or something like that. Vehicle must run a full-length rail chassis. The rail chassis must be as long as the vehicle's wheelbase. The Gen 8 does have that strange thing where the chassis actually ends somewhere in here, but it still extends longer than the wheelbase of the truck by quite a bit, so this truck is completely legal. Truckies are not allowed, not a problem. Tires can never extend beyond the body's bumpers or the rear of any truck bed, so clearly we've got plenty of space here. Dovetailing is not allowed. Sectioning or narrowing of the body is not allowed. Bobbing a truck bed is allowed, but must follow all body specs. Both sides are not allowed. 106 millimeters or 4.19 inch max tire size. We have achieved that by putting on these Hyrax Class 1s. It does specify that Class 1 must run a chassis mounted servo, which we do on this truck out of the box, so no problems there. And so yeah, we could take this truck to a comp and run it like that, you know, pull it out of the box, change the tires, and go. May not be competitive because we're not going to get a whole lot of scale points and the performance is probably going to be decent, but you can do it, and I think this truck is a pretty awesome way to get started doing that. So that said, I don't really know that much about how scale comps work, so if I get any of these rules and points wrong, please comment, let me know. I kind of want this whole series to be a learning experience. We can learn this together. So yeah, if I get something wrong, or if there's something I don't know or I misinterpret, please let me know and we'll correct it in the next video. Okay, so now let's kind of go over some points. And I also want to mention these rules that I'm going to go over, or that I'm going over, and the pointing is all based on the 2022 SORRCA rules. I know the 2023 rules are currently in the works and will be out at the end of this month. So when that happens, we'll do a quick revamp if anything has changed that affects our stock truck. So with the body, the first thing you get, we don't have a hard body. We're running an SUV, so no drop bed points. We didn't custom build the hard body, purely Lexan. But what we do have is inner fenders out of the box, which is a pretty awesome feature of this truck. We have fully enclosed fenders. It makes it look super nice and scale. So we got 1 point for that. We don't have a bed, so no flatbed or headache rack or roll bar points. No truggies or tube stuff because we're in Class 1. We do have sliders out of the box. We have plastic ones on each side, so that's 1 point per pair. And then we've got bumpers front and rear. These are plastic ones, so another 1 point per bumper, so that's 2. And our bumper has a stinger built in, which gives us 1 point in addition to the bumper points, so that's another point. And we don't have any roof rack or light bar yet. No interior, no SUV cargo area. These are all things that we're gonna, do throughout the series. Suspension wise, no leaf springs, no extra axles. We do get 5 points for that chassis mounted servo, which is nice that we get 5 points just out of the box. At least I think on Class 1 you do. It does seem kind of weird that you're required to, but then you get points for it. So maybe someone could weigh in on that. Do I get those points in Class 1 or not? That's kind of all for the body, I think. So let's go ahead and pull the body off, because there is some interesting stuff going on with this truck that makes things even cooler for a Class 1 rig. So yeah, the biggest thing is that we have a full-on functioning transfer case out of the box. I guess you can't really see it. But instead of having motor and then all transmission one piece, we have motor, transmission, and then under here you can see a divorced transfer case that actually drives the wheels. And so that's pretty awesome. That's 4 points right out of the box that you don't get with something like a Base Camp or a TRX4 Sport. And that's, let's see, I guess we do have functional and non-functional accessories probably. Let's take a look. I don't think we're going to have any functional ones. Oh, well, we do have the D-rings, which I actually already broke one, so maybe they're not so functional. We might have to end up spending a few bucks of the budget to replace those with some nice metal ones just so that they last. There is a hitch point we could get. I don't know, there's a receiver built into the bumper, and then we have this little hitch cap that makes a cool little cat. I don't know if we get hitch points for that or not, so maybe someone can weigh in and let me know. I'm not going to count it for right now because I'm assuming I need like an actual drop hitch with a ball that I could functionally pull something with to get functional points for. So I think that's really just 1 point out of the box was functional. Non-functional items, we don't really have any tools or anything, no disc brakes. One cool thing the body does have is mirrors, and they're not just mirrors, they actually fold, which I think will make them last a lot longer. They won't get, crushed off in a crash. So we're gonna get 1 point for that. Oh, and also our wheels out of the box come with these cool little hub covers. That's a point for non-functional. So 16 points out of the box. All we had to do was change the tires to make it legal. Seems like a pretty rockin' deal to me. So we'll see what we can do over the course of a few episodes to get this baby up to 44 more points for a total of 60. I think it's going to be pretty hard to do with a legs and body, but we're going to do what we can and get as many points as we can, and then go from there. So yeah, thanks a lot. If you've got any ideas for things we can do to get the points, or if you have a Gen8 V2 and have good suggestions for first upgrades to make it a better scale comp crawler, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.